gorgeous. Today I'm going to, for the very first time, listen to Hocus Pocus Focus, Diplodocus. I have absolutely no idea what this is, but it won our poll on Patreon, and as a fairy of my word, I will analyse it for anyone who wants to listen. This was performed on October 5th, 1973. So almost 50 years ago to the day. I think this is going to be some shade of rock, but there's only one way to find out. Fight. Oh, the audience are excited. Oh, that's very distorted. Oh, it's crunchy. Wow. Hey, Hocus Pocus, how many apps do you want? They're very tight. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, yodel rock. All right, let's go. Blimey. I didn't know I needed this. Here we are. There he goes. Some of us are just high on music. There's nothing quite like a good old-fashioned yodel to put a pep in your step. So the fact that he's performed for us two identical melodies with this yodel technique inside, one after the other, we can hear how his second one was a lot cleaner than the first. The first one enabled him to warm up both of the registers required. You know what happens in your voice sometimes when you're pushing up for a high note and you go, yeah, and it breaks? Well, a yodel is capitalizing on that break, sometimes referred to as the passaggio or the crack, can be what makes your voice so special, as we can hear here. Here. So what comprises a yodel is two things, mode 1, and mode 2, Now to master the yodel, all you need to do is just exaggerate that harsh transition between the two and do it really quickly. If you've ever learned to drive a manual car, you'll know that initially it's quite difficult to do that gear change, isn't it? From gear 1 to gear 2. You're trying to get the clutch in, but you didn't get it all the way, so everyone's doing this in the car with you. The difference is this time we want that clunky gear change. So the notes that are in his speech range step down, but the note that he flips to with the yodel remains the same. Da 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 bum ba da 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 da. So the pitches that he's breaking off to don't bear that much resemblance with the starting note itself. They're really superfluous to the melody, whereas some of the uses of the yodel technique in popular music, like they yodel to the next note in the melody. If my life is foreign, my hips don't lie and I'm staring. This is just all about that higher pitch to give it that spicy texture. And he is doing countless fabulous facial gestures. We've got this really stiff corners of the mouth situation going on to keep a little bit of tension in the face, and the face shape is not really changing. He's keeping it the same so that he can more finely control the mechanism in here, which it is a very fine motor skill situation, because he's got to make sure that he lands perfectly on that melody after flinging his voice all the way off into the other corner of the room, laryngally speaking. He knows for that he needs to drop his jaw a little bit to sit those notes lower, but he still keeps that tension in the corner of the mouth to make sure it has enough lift for him to fling it off. And then he's got a lovely lifted eyebrow situation to get those bumper really bright and pingy. This isn't completely random. I know it looks a little bit over the top what he's doing with his face, but it's actually working very well. I mean, this ascent is different. Falsetto with a nice backward sort of shape in the mouth. But then as he's taking the notes higher, he knows that he needs a little bit more engagement. So he's bringing it into more of an opera position. Until he just doesn't. It's almost as if he just sort of malfunctions while he's doing that operatic climb, and everything just goes off the rails. It's almost as if he's trying to sing it on hot coals. Okay. I'll try. It's so hot! There can be a fine line between pleasure and pain, and this is like somewhere on that line. But anyway, we then get transported off into groovy town with the rest of the track, which I'm enjoying very much. I love this tempo and I just love this groove. That's the 70s, isn't it? Groovy, baby. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. You know that song, Are You Gonna Be My Girl? I think it's by a band called Jet. Are you gonna be my girl? It's like an alien did a bit of a flyby on Earth and he saw that song being performed, but he couldn't really remember it properly. So he remembered like the gist, but then he took it back home to his alien land and they're now doing it in their own language and with their own sort of musical customs. And I have no complaints. None. This is too good. This is too good. I don't think I've ever felt this way before listening to a piece of music. This is an emotion that I don't really understand right now. It's sort of amazement, bewilderment, a small dash of embarrassment, but all underpinned by an indestructible foundation of respect and admiration. Once is absolutely nowhere near enough for that little treat. Yeah, I understand it more the second time. I'm learning the language. Look, the most important thing, I say this all the time, for a singer to do is to make sounds that are interesting in some way, whether they are interesting to provoke emotion or interesting to contribute to the other musical layers of the piece in progress. And sometimes there are just not appropriate lyrics to do that. He wants a lot of do's. He wants it to pack a nice little do-do-do-do-do-do-do punch, like a vocal machine gun. And so that's what he did. Whatever it lacks lyrically, it certainly makes up for sonically. And I've got big feelings listening to this without him saying anything. And you can sort of... Hang on, is that a flute? He's got a bloody flute on there. Oh my gosh. It's only just begun. Okay, I'm going to shut up because I need to get to the flute bit. Woo, very nice. That was nice. Nice. Whoa, yeah. Oh, there he goes. Oh, key change. And another key change. Oh, wow. Octave change. I'm in love. I am in f***ing love. He sang audible notes into that bloody flute while playing it. Okay, I'm getting the flute. The flute's coming out. Wow, yeah, so it's really dependent on the attack. If you want to be able to sing and put enough air in the flute at the same time, you've really got to start your note like you're spitting it. Because otherwise what will happen is all of the breath is going to be converted into voice if you don't sing with a super, super breathy attack. The flute needs the breath as fuel to create the music. I mean, I never doubted his skill for a second, but the level of respect that I have for him now is exponentially growing. The way that the guitarist reinforced those syncopated beats, the off beats, it made it super wild. I mean, for a second, I thought it was the flute man. I mean, wonders will never cease. What he can do with that flute knows no bounds, as far as I'm aware. But no, I think it was the guitarist. Oh, that is so amazing. Brilliant! Oh! It's got buttons. They're making it faster every time as well. I mean, that was absolutely bloody genius. The way that he sort of made it sound so creepy because the tape was stopping. We've heard that yodel so many times now. We were just waiting for it to go, whatever. Partly why this yodel is coming out so well is the attack with the tongue. Bloody hell, that's so difficult. After a while, it gets really weird feeling and your tongue just starts to get confused. The breath control is absolutely off the charts. I mean, this is testament to his yodel technique. The mode 2, the destination, the place where he flips to in his yodel, he's got that so clean when his vocal folds are in that thin position, unlike a falsetto quality, they're actually closing. So therefore, there's no breath being wasted, so he could just keep on going. It's a really effective, economical use of breath. He's so clever. The volume was much lower this time, wasn't it? And you think, a little dynamic effect, very nice, but it was not just nice, it was also tactical. He started off quietly because he knew he had to conserve his breath later on. I am positively spellbound. What a spectacular individual this is, really. I have mixed feelings about them changing the camera angle here, because you could see him sort of look into your soul for a second, and then they decided to use the side view, and I don't know if that saved me a certain emotion or whether it's robbed me of it, you know. Very conservative. So in control. Oh, it is penetrative. Oh, yeah. Oh, there he goes. Soar! There's some lovely harmonic moments in there as well, some really good dissonance. He is solid as a rock though, him. Stop. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stand up! You're not going to see that again. He is just the most masterful wind manipulator I have ever beheld. I mean, 2 types of whistle at the end. That was a total flex there. He used the tongue whistle when he wanted to go super high. I think he's using his front tooth and his tongue. His eyeballs. The pitch is coming out so high because it's traveling through such a small gap. It's the same way, you know, when you put the window down in the car, it's just a nice sort of steady gust. But when you start to put the window up, the higher and higher it goes until it's just a tiny little crack. You get this really high whistle, which is exactly what's happening here. The gap between his tongue and his tooth. I mean, the mind boggles. Consider me deeply and profoundly impressed. He's got a lovely taste in shirts to top it all off. Bloody hell, yeah, I mean, just when you think you've heard it all, it's time to read out today's oracle card. Sing it loud and proud, and let's just stick a in there for intensity. When you speak with intention and ecstatic devotion, you will raise your energy and reach those feels of flying high above the petty crap and drama. Life challenges will appear achievable. Remember, you can start over and over again. You've got to do that to be like him. You've really got to soar above the conventional. And I am jolly well glad he did. If this is the type of video that floats your boat, then you might enjoy my analysis of Ima Sumac. She does some equally otherworldly vocal situations that I would hate for you to miss out on. Oh, that was a good one. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it, and that it might warrant your extremely valuable like and subscription to this channel. If you're here with me at the premiere, then big premiere hug for you. And if you're here at any other time, big hug for you too. Have a wonderful day. I love you loads, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye. And even as the notes get lower in pitch, but when you put it up and it's just a tiny little bit of crack,